Shadow AI risks, the dangers of employees using unapproved Gen AI tools. What is shadow AI? Shadow AI refers to the invisible, informal use of generative AI tools inside organizations without official authorization. While tools like OpenAI's ChatGPT, Anthropic's Claude, and Google's Gemini promise productivity gains, unauthorized usage can expose companies to serious regulatory, contractual, and reputational consequences. The risk is not theoretical, it is already happening across industries. In this video, I'll talk you through the structural drivers of shadow AI, maps legal and cybersecurity exposure, analyze regulatory implications, and provide a governance framework that balances innovation with compliance discipline. Now, what is shadow AI? By simple definition, shadow AI is the unsanctioned deployment or usage of generative AI tools by employees without IT, legal, or compliance approval. Unlike the traditional shadow IT, which deals with unauthorized cloud apps or software, generative AI introducing dynamic risks because it processes live inputs, produces new outputs, and can influence binding business decisions. Common examples: HR uploading CVs may expose protected personal data, and the engineers pasting proprietary source code risks trade secrets erosion. Legal teams relying on AI-generated case citations risk professional negligence, and finance team using AI-generated projections risk material misstatements. Each example above demonstrates how everyday productivity shortcuts can escalate into enterprise-level exposure. Why is it increasing? The democratization of AI tools has eliminated technical barriers. Also, browser-based tools require no installation. Remote work reduces centralized IT monitoring, and productivity expectations incentivize shortcuts. Where internal tools lag behind public AI capabilities, employees often self-supply solutions. Data security and confidential risks. One, confidential information exposure. When employees impute sensitive material into public AI systems, they may unintentionally transfer data outside organizational control. If prompts are logged or retained, this may constitute data disclosure to third parties. The legal issues becomes whether the organization exercise reasonable safeguards over confidential information. Intellectual property leakage. Trade secret law requires reasonable steps to maintain secrecy. Uploading proprietary algorithms into public AI tools may undermine that protection. Additionally, premature disclosure of inventions could affect patent eligibility in certain jurisdictions. Regulatory data violations. Under the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, unauthorized transfers of personal data may trigger fines. Health data disclosures may breach HIPAA in the US. Financial data misuse may violate cybersecurity disclosure rules. It is then worthy to note that regulatory compliance hinges on data control and lawful processing. Both are compromised by shadow AI. Legal exposure. Potential consequences include breach of confidentiality agreements, regulatory penalties, professional misconduct investigations, and shareholder derivative litigation, as well as cyber insurance disputes. Legal and regulatory risks. 1. Data protection law violations. If employees upload personal data without a data processing agreement, the organization may remain the legal data controller. Cross-border transfers without safeguards may violate adequacy requirements under GDPR or UK GDPR. Employment law risks. AI tools used informally for hiring or discipline can introduce algorithmic bias. And under US law, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, has clarified that employers remain responsible for discriminatory outcomes even when AI is vendor supplied. Securities and disclosure risks. If executives rely on AI-generated financial data without verification, inaccurate disclosures may constitute securities fraud or negligent misrepresentation. As such, boards must ensure robust internal controls over AI-assisted reporting. Consumer protection risks. The Federal Trade Commission, FTC, has warned that AI-generated claims must be truthful and substantiated. False or exaggerated AI-generated marketing statements may trigger enforcement. Operational and cybersecurity risks. 1. Hallucination in business decisions. Generative AI can fabricate legal citations, statistics, or regulatory interpretations. If relied upon in contract drafting, compliance filings, or risk modeling, these hallucinations may cause operational disruption or liability exposure. 2. Malware and prompt injection. Prompt injection attacks can manipulate all AI outputs or extract confidential information. Enterprise-grade AI systems implement safeguards, but public consumer tools may not meet corporate cybersecurity standards. 3. Loss of auditability. Unauthorized AI usage bypasses logging systems. In litigation, discovery obligations require documentation of decision-making processes. Without audit trails, organizations face evidentiary gaps that weaken legal defenses. Reputational and strategic risks. One, public relations crisis. Data leaks linked to shadow AI can erode customer trust, trigger media investigations, and depress stock prices. Reputation recovery often costs more than regulatory fines. Two, client contract breaches. Enterprise service agreements frequently guarantee compliance with security and confidentiality standards. Unauthorized AI usage may breach contractual warranties, leading to indemnification claims. Three, erosion of governance credibility. Boards increasingly treat AI as enterprise risk. Failure to oversee shadow AI may signal inadequate internal controls and risk oversight. Why employees use shadow AI? One, behavioral insight. Most shadow AI usage is efficiency driven and not malicious. Employees seek productivity, creative assistance, and cognitive support. Prohibitive guidance without alternatives tends to drive usage underground rather than eliminate it. Board and executive liability. Duty of oversight. Directors have fiduciary duties to monitor risk systems, and under oversight doctrines such as Kermark principle in US corporate law, failure to implement compliance systems may expose directors to derivative suits if harm results. Regulatory scrutiny. Regulators increasingly expect documented AI governance and AI governance programs. Absence of AI risk frameworks may be interpreted as compliance failure. How to mitigate shadow AI risk? One, clear AI usage policy. Policies must specify permissible tools, prohibited data categories, approval procedures, and disciplinary consequences. Two, provide approved alternatives. Enterprises should deploy such secure AI platforms with contractual data protections, enterprise controls, and logging capabilities. Three, training and awareness. Education reduces accidental violations. Training should cover hallucinations, bias, confidentiality, and regulatory obligations. Four, technical controls. Organizations may use domain blocking, data loss prevention systems, endpoint monitoring, and API governance controls. Five, vendor due diligence. Access, data retention policies, training data usage, security certifications, and indemnity provisions. These must be carefully assessed. Logging and audit trails. Maintaining prompt logs and output records strengthens defensibility during regulatory investigations. Strategic approach. Controlled enablement. Balanced governance. Total prohibition is unrealistic. However, effective governance embraces AI's productivity benefits while embedding compliance safeguards. The objective here is not elimination, it is a structured integration. In conclusion, shadow AI is an invisible bet accelerating enterprise risk. Organizations that ignore it invite regulatory sanctions, litigation, and regulatory harm. Organizations that overreact risk suppressing innovation and employee efficiency. The solution lies in 1. Formal AI governance frameworks. 2. Board level oversight. 3. Secure enterprise tools. 4. Continuous monitoring. And 5. Transparent accountability structures. AI is now a core enterprise capability. Managing AI is therefore not an IT issue. It is a legal, strategic, and governance imperative. And unless I can assist anyone further, those are my submissions.